Right.
We had a guy who used to work for us. Really nice guy. Really great guy. He's the most accident-prone person I've ever met in my life, right? The amount of things he did that were dumb. One day he's mowing a lawn. It's a 2,000 square meter lawn, big lawn with a MoMaster cylinder mower, and those things go. You put the revs on and they go. You have to jog after them. So he's put the revs on to get it done quick. I was doing the edging. And then we go to the next job. Well, actually, a couple of jobs later, we're back using a cylinder mower. We had a couple of different jobs in between. And it is, I would say, 25 square meters. Right?
Oh, wow.
Like, we've gone from our biggest cylinder mowing job to one of the smallest, right? And it's this tiny little front lawn. We're parked along the verge, right? Immediately in front of us, along the road. Immediately in front of us is the next door neighbor's car, right? He turns the mower on, full revs, right? Drops the clutch, and the nice heavy machine with the strong horsepower flies off, right? And he tries to grab it. And the MoMaster clutch is the opposite of a Scott Bonner. So a Scott Bonner, you pull the trigger. A MoMaster, you let it go to release. It's literally like a clutch in a car. You let it go and it runs. But there's no throttle. The throttle's already on. So it's like having your accelerator on the car down, you let the clutch go, your car is off. He's heading for this next door neighbor's car. He grabs the handlebars, he knocks it onto the concrete. So it's now completely turned up and running on its handlebars, right? Still heading for this car, right?
Oh, no.
There is a line of liriope that separates the two driveways. He grabs it, swings it over, runs straight over the liriope. The blades aren't engaged, so we're fine. Bounces over it. It's on the next neighbor's lawn. He then tries to grab it again. Like, he's leaning down, chasing after it. He tries to pick it up, but it's still on full rev. So he picks it up. The handles are now in the air, right? But it pulls to the right, straight across the road. Okay? And it's going straight across the road. It bumps onto the next door neighbor, now across the road's lawn. And then he's able to grab the clutch and stop it. And there's a guy 3 or 4 houses down washing his motorbike. And he saw the whole thing. And he just looked at us and we just looked at him. And he just went back to washing his motorbike. And we were like,
how been in tears on the floor laughing.
It was silence after that for a while, to be honest. I was just like in shock. And maybe I'll take some photos. Look, the MoMaster's not at where at my house. I might take some photos and post it on the Instagram of the handles of that MoMaster that to today are no longer circle. There's a nice flat worn part of where they were dragging along that person's driveway.
Oh, wow. Oh, wow. Yeah, no, wow. That's next level. That really is next level. How embarrassing.
I know. And can you imagine if he hit the car? 160-something kilos of MoMaster going jogging pace.
Yeah. Would have been a nice pinstripe, I would imagine, and probably a little crease as well.
That would have been a bad day for my insurance company.
For sure. So I can think of two situations. I can tell you about the day I rolled a tractor, or I can tell you about the day I was being a show-off and a smart ass on a postie bike on the golf course.
Ooh. Which one's better? I mean, I've got time for both, but we're coming close to 2 hours now. Let's go smart ass on the postie bike.
So we had a fleet of postie bikes to zip round and do hand watering and all this sort of thing. And I had, I might have been a 4th-year apprentice by that stage, and I had a bit of an audience with some of the other greenkeepers and stuff out on the course, and thought I'd be a bit talented and all this sort of caper. And I went one way and the bike went the other way. And so we used to hook the hoses on, you see. So the hoses, these big like dairy hoses, so the big 1-inch sort of flexi sort of hoses, and we had welded onto the back of the postie bike with threaded nipples, so you could screw the hose onto the back of the bike and sort of tow it around, which sort of left you a loop at the end that as you scoot along as you're driving along, could potentially hook over something and
right. Yeah.
So I was being a bit of a clever person that day, and sort of it did not end well. Bike went that way, I went that way.
How many people saw it?
Oh, there was about 6. Yeah, about 6 blokes I worked with. It was it was kind of one of those moments that we need to make this right before the boss turns up. So,
Yeah.
and that was the day before helmets and stuff too. See, there was none of that in that day. It was just
Yep.
Yeah, it was like back in the day when it all happens.
Yeah, it was all going crazy.
Yeah. No, the back end just let go, and it hooked around. I think the hose might have wrapped around a tree as it flung around a corner or something. And
oh wow! Did you wreck the hose?
It was like a big rubber band, really, but it was all in slow mo. It was all sort of slow mo. It was like, zzz, and then each way. So
a bit of Tom and Jerry cartoon sort of.
Oh, proper cartoon moment. So and then then another course I did actually manage to put a tractor on its side and a verti drain.
Oh,
so yeah. So it was all brand new.
So like a proper tractor. If it's got
a little mini, yeah. So the mini tractors they use on greens when they core aerate and stuff like that. So they're not a huge, big, full size tractor, but they're an entry level, full functioning 3-point linkage style tractor. Mm-hmm. And anyway, so I was busy verti draining greens, and it was quite interesting because it was sort of like, this new tractor arrived, and I was the person, it was to be used by and looked after, and wow. I came across a bridge on a creek, and up this little ramp, and it started to get a bit steeper. And I'm like, I don't know if this is a really wise idea to keep coming up this track. I think this is getting a bit steep. And then all of a sudden, the front wheel started to lift off the ground.
Yeah.
And it's like that absolute moment that you go, well, what do I do here? And I thought, I need to abort this now. And I made the wrong choice. Because I was like, I reckon if I just hook it left real quick, I should be able to spin round before I get too steep and just go back down again. Because I couldn't go backwards because the creek and stuff like that. I couldn't be sure I'd back. So I thought I need to abort from this. And as I started the turn, which was the dumbest and most wrongest thing you could do, the front left up, the extra weight of the verti drain, and before you know it, it was all slow-mo. And before you know it, I was on my side. And I think just before it crashed down, I think I might have undid my seatbelt and jumped off the other side and limped my way back to the shed. And I rolled the brand new tractor and the brand new verti train.
How much money is damage?
Oh no, it was a blinker on the roll cage, on the roll bar, and that was about it. But it still was one of those moments that, not one of my finest moments, but
well, all's well that ends well.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm still here to tell the story. So, like I said at the beginning of this, you're not a good greenkeeper to kill a green or two. So I suppose you're not a good tractor operator until you put one on its side. But
I've got some tractor stories, but we need to stop. Look, it's an hour and
55 minutes. Yeah, wow.
This is the longest podcast we've done.
Let's hope it's recorded, has it?
Actually, yeah. It's gone. It's recording. Hey, if you love the podcast, jump on our Patreon. It's the Patreon to keep this podcast going. The link is in the YouTube description.